Shut up and sit down.
All right, everybody, welcome back to Rebel Trading Group Podcast, episode 47, right?
47, right.
47. My name is Nathan Oliphant. Today's date is October 23rd, 2018. It is Tuesday, my dudes. What is up? You just heard the gluten-free Jason Bessing.
What is going on? The gluten-free Jason Bessing here. Nathan, welcome back, bro.
I'm alive.
Thank God. Can you tell us where you've been? Can you give us a little brief, what happened?
I'll break it down for you. Break it down.
Break it down. Maybe we probably don't have a lot of listeners. What's going on?
A hurricane. I heard Category 5 because they only put updates out every 3 hours. A Category at least 4 went straight over my house. And so we evacuated. We evacuated to Pensacola. We live in Panama City. We evacuated out more west, and it totally devastated our town. We were, we didn't go back until 3 days after the storm. Luckily, we got power. We were on the west side of the eye, so we got the lesser half of the force winds. But if it's sustained winds of like 130, man, that's really powerful. To have on the west side still have this much damage.
For several hours. It's not just like a gust.
No. Yeah. To have this much damage on the west side of the wall, it's insane. The east side of the wall, Mexico Beach and Apalachicola, got completely fucked. They're done. It looks like a nuke went off over Mexico Beach to the east of us.
Yeah, I heard there's some military housing out there. That an entire base is uninhabited now. Uninhabitable.
Yeah, 100% of the living quarters is not livable. So it was pretty devastating. I didn't have power for a while. I didn't have internet for even longer. We just got water back, but I'm scared. We're gonna be in a Flint, Michigan water situation for a bit. So I'm drinking bottled water and all that. But we're safe. Everybody's good. We don't have damage to the house. We still have a place to live. We got AC. We're good. But
so nothing happened to the house, right?
No, yeah, but the rest of the town is just devastated.
That sucks, man.
Yeah.
Anyone you know that got a brute end of it?
I have quite a few coworkers who lost their homes, lost their roofs, lost plenty of their lives. Really, a lot of people lost their jobs. They don't have a place of employment anymore. It just got wiped
literally
away.
got destroyed. Yeah, that's horrible, man.
So.
And speaking of which, you had to have a change at work, right? Because you guys are on a curfew. You were telling me.
Yeah. We're we do like overnight shifts, kind of like morning till 2ish, noonish.
Mm-hmm.
And they put like a looting curfew in from 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. So, that's that.
That's wild.
The stores in town, they got wiped. They're not good. They're not good, man. So there's 2 or 3 stores over on the west side of Panama City. Sorry, and we're getting slammed. So it's exhausting, and we're doing our best.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you came out on the better end of that. We did miss you.
Yeah.
It goes to show, like, a lot of people don't really realize, like, I think a hurricane comes, some damage, and then it's over. And no, there's businesses that are impacted. There's hundreds of, if not thousands of people that can't go back to work. There's millions of dollars lost in productivity. There's services that can't be provided. Like, it's a chain reaction, and it goes to show you what something like this how it can kind of shake things up. So,
I was thinking
I kind of want to talk about it later too. Talk about hurricanes.
I was thinking about quitting my job today, and that's one of the things that kind of deterred me away from doing it. Who else is hiring right now?
Yeah, especially in your area, there's some commotion going on.
Yeah.
But you're just gonna day trade instead? You're just gonna say fuck it, I'm leaving.
Real. What am I gonna do?
I'm day trading. Oh man, I'm ready for that, man. I'm working so hard to get to that point.
Nah, but I'm still trucking along, dealing with bullshit like everybody deals with bullshit. So.
Hey, that's what we got to do, man. That's why we're here, right? Yeah, that's what they call the American dream. So I'm glad you're back. Let's jump into it, though. I got some numbers for you. We had a lot of shit, a lot of volatility. You left us for 2 weeks, and look what the fuck happened, Nathan.
I know it.
But today we Dow down 126 points, S&P down 16 points, Nasdaq down 32 points, and gold popping up $8 an ounce to 12.33. Pushed past that 12.08, 12.06 mark that was stuck at for a while. And then we have the cryptocurrency herself, the OG Kush. Wow, Coinbase now makes you log in to look at their prices.
Once you use CoinMarketCap, that's an
Well, I mean,
Coinbase is very biased. It's it's very biased on what the price is. It's Coinbase's price. The price of Bitcoin right now is trading at $6,475.81.
Okay, I'm gonna have to start using them instead of Coinbase now because they're making me log in order
I'm pretty sure CoinMarketCap it shows the average price. I might be wrong. It might show the most popular exchange price, but even then, if it's the most popular one, I mean that's the one people.
It's usually it's less than it's usually less than 0.25% difference.
Yeah.
Very small difference, but a lot of volatility going on, and we saw some more of it today. We had a large sell-off this morning, dude. We were down.
500
futures
points.
Opened us at like 500 points down, and we crawled almost all the way back.
Yeah, I would say flat. It was flat.
The Dow, I don't really consider the Dow to have a good movement unless it's more. It's like 350 or more is a good movement in my opinion, and we didn't see that today. But amazing how we recouped from that sell-off. It shows that there are buyers still trying to keep this market up. It shows that we are not all bad news bears today. And do you know who the bad news bears today were?
I know 3M. Took a
3M.
hit. They missed earnings.
And Caterpillar, two of the biggest industrial names, and we have done the industrial sector before. So this is that cyclicality kicking in that we talked about in that exact episode. So when the industrials lead lower, that's a leading indicator, I guess you could say. It's a general indication of what to expect. So if industrials lead lower, economy is slowing down. That's the theory. That's what it says on paper. But risk off day for sure, especially when we see gold pop up in that. I think JNUG had a violent move today, up about 5-6%.
I mean, if it's gold's moving, the JNUG's moving, and NUGT's moving. I have a strangle option strategy on NUGT. I think it's like a 2012 strangle.
What do you mean 2012?
I said 2012. That's the price is around like 18 right now. The call's at 20. The put's at 12.
Oh, okay. Okay, I get what you're saying. So you gotta. Okay, I see what you're going for now. I like gold here. I like it as a buy here. I still think there's a lot of opportunity to get in, especially in the volatility. And we know I always like the commodity-backed sectors, and I like triple leveraging them if you are a trader.
Yeah. You want to do some news?
Yeah, let's pop on over to market news with Nathan Oliphant.
I might need some help. All I know really what's going on.
Let's back it up.
Okay.
Were you able to listen to the episode I did last week at all? Well, I listened
to the beginning.
I talked about Netflix a lot. So Netflix put out those earnings. Did you see those?
They were big, weren't they?
They were fucking gigantic. Well, I mean, not really. They raised their subscriber count and they beat earnings. CNBC said they smashed them, but it gapped up like $65 a share. So that was a big headline of last week. But this week, what's going on with the Saudi thing?
Okay.
I've only heard about it chopping up. I don't know.
The Trump administration has had lots of ties with the Saudi Arabians, financial ties, whatnot. And recently there was a reporter who was killed. It was a Turkish reporter, if I
I
believe.
think it was a Turkish one.
He was killed in a consulate in Saudi Arabia, and there's kind of speculation of like, was he killed or like, was there an accident? Um, what's his name? I heard Rush Limbaugh saying, "Yeah, I believe it was an accident, and he fell in a bone saw and it dismembered his body." So like, I don't know really what's going on there. There's lots of like questions of you have all these financial ties, but they're breaking all these humanitarian crisis rules or humanitarian like ethics. So like, why are we dealing with them? Oil. That's why.
Because they have commodity-based holdings,
Yeah.
and they control a lot of it.
Filthy rich soil. Let's just say that. So there's that. I guess pay attention to that. I don't really know how that would affect the market. Well, pretty big. Yeah. You said oil, right?
Yeah, oil, especially if a Middle Eastern war, Turkey and Saudi Arabia goes to war, that's going to be a fucking disaster, dude.
I looked up if Saudi Arabia had any nuclear supplies, and they don't.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do, though.
Yeah, well.
Dude, that place is so corrupt. Everyone there is a king or a prince or a slave.
Do you know? Do you know what Saudi Arabia is? It's a kingdom.
Yeah.
It's the House of Sauds. So it blows my mind.
Isn't there like 1,000 kings or something like that?
No, there's one king to a kingdom, man. There's lots of princes, I think.
Yeah, princes, sons of princes.
Yeah.
During my military days, I always heard of people going to Bahrain, and everybody was a prince. There was just a palace's prince every square block. I just think that's ridiculous.
It's a highly...
And their family wealth is in the trillions.
Stupid.
On paper.
Stupid. Another thing happening in the news, I wouldn't really say it's really market news, but we got a bunch of people coming, masses of Hondurans trying to escape and seek refuge into America. Masses.
Really?
Yeah.
And why? What's going on?
I think this is my conspiracy head going off. I think it's the Democrats.
We are conspiracists at the Rebel Trading Group.
I think it's the Democrats.
We will be the hedge fund that straight up tweets that shit. No, but I could see how that is to try to incur voting power.
Oh, dude, for sure. Just
they
can't vote, but like get them in and create a crisis.
Yeah.
Get them in and say, get them in and say, why aren't we refugeeing them? Because their political system is fucking them over, I guess. I don't know what's happening in Honduras. I'm ignorant. But I just feel like it's a Democratic ploy to fucking get Donald Trump out of office. It's not market news. I just want to say I think it's the Democrats. I think it's the Democrats.
It's national news, and that could be... Anytime there's political battles and uncertainty and gridlock, it's going to cause some volatility in the markets. So political news is absolutely huge in our game.
Yeah. I'm getting kind of nervous about this election coming up.
It's projected that the Democrats are going to win again. They're going to win the House, not the Senate, but the House.
They're rallying.
I mean, you saw what happened when they didn't do what they were supposed to. To be honest, I think that if they put up the right Democrat last time, they would have beat Trump. They would have.
Maybe.
I think it was the whole Hillary Clinton thing.
There's a map of like who voted for who, and I don't know if I want to look. I want to compare where she campaigned and how hard she campaigned in what areas, because like you can see certain urban areas. Most urban areas were blue, voted blue. That's 100% for sure. No, blue for Hillary Clinton.
Oh, blue, yeah. Well, I mean, that's usually the case, though. More urban areas tend to be very democratically based. I mean, look at Seattle, New York City, Los Angeles, Detroit, Boston, Philadelphia, you name it. Most of them. I mean, you got like Memphis and St. Louis. No,
if you look at high populated cities, St. Louis, Jacksonville, even high populated cities, Chicago, New York, like you said, capital cities, vote blue around that area. But in rural areas, all red.
Well, she didn't put that time in.
She did. She put that time into those bigger cities, but Trump dominated into rural areas. And
there you go. He spent more time in Iowa.
Yeah.
and St. Louis, Missouri.
Yeah. So
And yeah, he fucking rallied in Oklahoma. He went for the working class, the farmers, the steel workers, the clean coal, whatever that is. All of that stuff.
clean coal.
He went for the blue collar worker, and that's what you need. That's what Republicans tend to be. Tend to be the blue collar workers. So
Yeah. So other than that, we're just going through earnings season. J.P. Morgan let off. They were up. I don't know if you said that already. They beat
I
expectations, but I think they went down that day. It was just a normal sell-off, like we said. It happens. Um,
People lock in profits.
yeah.
There's a lot of liquidity.
What I've been noticing, shout out to Steve Peasley, there is a lot of volatility. I just read a headline that said 12 out of the 14 sessions have been down. In the last 14, 12 out of the last 14 sessions have been down. That's basically half the month of October, and we're not even 2/3 of the way through. Or we just hit 2/3 of the way through.
Yeah, we still got a whole ways to go. We still got a lot of earnings to go too.
So I feel like it's mixed. Earnings are I feel like they're mixed. Haven't really been paying that much attention. What can you say about earnings, buddy?
That's the vibe I'm getting. They're mixed.
Mixed, yeah.
Because some of the banks are doing good, but industrials are not.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see how the transports are doing. I'm gonna go to IYT. That's the transport Dow Jones. Industrial transport.
You have the XL series and you have the IY series. The Dow Jones is the IY, and the S&P is the Standard & Poor's series are the XLs.
Wait, so you're on Twitch right now, right?
Yes.
Wow, I'm gonna pull you up on the strum. Here. Are you looking at IYT by any chance?
No, I can though.
I think you should.
Okay.
Doc, this might be something you want to look at.
Doc.
So we know. Let's kind of roll into this. I'm liking where this conversation is going because we didn't really have much of a plan. Let's talk about this transportation sector real quick. It's not really a sector as much as it's more of a indication. I don't know. It's definitely an index. I guess that's the best way to put it. It's a index, and it holds companies that ship goods. So think your CSX. What's that? Norfolk Southern train companies, a lot of cargo shipping companies, Maersk, stuff like that. There's a lot more other ones. I'd have to actually pull up the holdings real quick, but off the top of my head, those are the big ones. Just think shipping companies, CL Robinson. There you go, trucking company. Usually, if the economy is booming, it is confirmed when the Dow transports go up. Because when there's more commerce, FedEx is moving more shit.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
Yeah.
DHL is moving more shit. So as oil prices and transports kind of work together, it as a indicator of how the stock market's doing. And usually a bull market is not considered a bull market unless the transportations are following it or confirming or moving faster. So that being said, if you look at the 1-year chart on the IYT right here, we're only up 3.5% on the year. Not strong. It's, if anything, I'm going to call it sideways for such a powerful index. It's sitting at $184. We got a 52-week high of 209.43. So she's actually taken a strong stumble past 3 months at 5.6%, which is big for an ETF. So do you think that this is an indication of the slowing of the economy?
For transportation? That's weird. That's really weird. That's really derivative. Like you say, like things like FedEx and stuff slow down, and that means people are spending less. I don't think you should just look at that. But it may be. Maybe. I mean, if you start adding puzzle pieces together, then maybe. But like if you see this one tanking, maybe it's just a bad timing. It's just the bad cycle of the cycle. But maybe. I've got to answer your question with maybe. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Real quick, I want to cut you off. You had the top 10 holdings: FedEx, Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific, UPS,
Okay.
JB Hunt, Kansas City, CH Robinson, CSX. Boom. So train, freight logistics, airlines, passenger transportation,
I'm gonna stick with my statement. Maybe.
logistics. It's a maybe.
Yeah. I think you
It
should
could
pay attention
be
to it, but I think you should put other factors into play with it.
absolutely. I think it's something that should be taken into account. If you're a long-term investor, maybe not, but looking in the next maybe 2 to 3 years, I think that this will be the indicator to kind of watch to see if we're going to be pulled in or pulled out of a recession. This is where it'll start. Now, that's that's my personal opinion. Other people might say that the banks are more so like that.
I
Like, oh,
think
I think if the
it's.
banks have a bigger impact,
I think it's how. I don't even look at that. I don't even look at anything
or the
equities.
Russell, the
I
Russell.
No. I look at housing market. That's my key indicator. That's my
That's your
first
favorite.
indicator.
That's
That's
your
my
favorite indicator.
Yeah. If we're yeah, especially in slowdowns of economies, it's housing markets for sure, dude. Housing markets are huge. Like, who's spending what? Why are they spending what?
Well, banks are very leveraged to the housing market. I'm noticing that as I'm getting older. Everything about a bank is credit cards and mortgages.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I noticed they all are.
Did you
Mortgages at
hear
2.2%, 3.2%,
APR?
1% down.
Did you hear Capital One's doing checking now?
Really? So what does
Yeah.
that like mean though?
That means like they're becoming like a banking service, more of a banking service and more of like a credit card service.
They're becoming one of those digital banks,
Dude, I'm excited.
like
I think they said
like
zero
SoFi.
fees. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
SoFi has no branches, no nothing, but they have customer support. Then they have an app, and they can mail you shit, but like there's no branch, and you really don't need them these days. I mean, very seldom do I find myself need to go into a branch. Last time I went into a branch is because there was some motard using the ATM in outside that was just taking forever. So I just went inside and went to the teller, and it was a painful
I'm
process.
sorry, you said motard?
Motard.
What's
That's
a
a moron and a retard at the same.
Okay. Let's get off this digression. Let's go what's my market terms, baby?
Okay, today, very simply, kind of want to bring it back to the basics.
Let's get it.
Today, what is margin?
Okay, margins fake money basically. It's
Isn't all money fake though, bro?
pretty much, yeah. Margin is it's part of your it's they calculate it as from part of your account, and you use margin um to get more buying power to buy stocks. And basically you don't get that money, but you get the profits you get from the margin. So margin is basically extra buying power that you can buy stocks with.
Yeah, you're borrowing against your portfolio that you have. You're
Correct, yeah.
borrowing
It's a
more money.
margin of your account.
And usually, if it's overnight, the maximum allowed, usually it varies, but usually is about half of your portfolio. So if you have a
Yes.
$10,000 account, you can usually get $5,000 in margin. Now that's subject to change depending on your volatility
And
and what you
exchange and
hold
market.
in exchange and market.
For
Um,
example, foreign exchange has I've seen cryptos up into like the 3 to 4 to 500 to ones, which
in
is
the crypto space.
yeah, that's absolutely insane.
I mean, if the broker is willing to take that risk, I kind of get it. So, so real quick, so we see the 0.5 to 1 ratio with equities overnight. If you're an intraday trader over $25,000 and you're flagged as a pattern day trader regularly over some period of time, depending on your broker, you can get up to 4 times buying power, but you cannot hold the stocks overnight. You have to sell by the end of the day, or you will be charged a full, crazy, ridiculous fee. You have to be really all about it.
I didn't know that. That's
But
interesting.
we see even higher margin levels when we branch out to other assets. So, other than equities, options are not marginable. You cannot sell options on margin. Your option values cannot be put towards your portfolio value. Only your equity and your cash can be used to determine your portfolio value when it comes to margin. Cannot use any call options that you may hold, regardless if they're in the money or not. So keep that in mind. For all you options players out there, margin will not be your friend, and that's okay.
You know.
So options are non-marginable. Futures are marginable,
Hmm.
and they're usually higher. It's close to, I've heard 10 to 12 on most of the futures, and that's because there is a required delivery. Options don't have a required delivery. If it's out of the money, it's expired, it's worthless.
Well, you
If
could.
the other one just goes down a shitload, you still got to buy it.
That sucks. Yeah.
So they have up to 12 times leverage on futures. And then you branch out into currencies. And what do we see over at currencies?
Extremely outrageous margin ratios.
And it's close to 500 to 1 I've seen.
Yeah.
And why do you think that is?
I.
Why do you think like forex has such high but stocks don't? Because I mean, like,
Do
dude,
you
if
think
I'm
it's
gonna
because
borrow,
like the value of the assets are so much lower?
I think it's the security of the asset.
Huh.
So when
Okay.
I'm borrowing, so if I have $100 in the bank and I just want to borrow a fuckload of yen, there's gonna be a fuckload of yen in my account. Like, how much is it really gonna go down? Because at the end of the day, the asset that they're gonna take away from me is yen. It's a physical fiat currency acceptable in the Japanese culture. It's a very liquid culture. National banking system. And it's very liquid. So at the end of the day, the asset is not some stock that might lose half its value overnight because it's a biotech company.
Yeah.
It's currencies of other nations. It's the British pound, it's the Australian dollar, it's the Canadian dollar. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Just like how we see margin outside of all trading too. We see margin on car loans, HELOCs, home equity lines of credit. Everything is margin. It's just debt against what you already have.
Mhm. Yeah.
Very interesting concept. So when you kind of relate it all back, if we pull it all back, is margin worth it, Nathan?
Depends.
We've both dabbled. We've both dabbled, and that's the best. That's the best answer. It depends. We've both dabbled in margin. I'm pretty sure we both have very similar opinions on it. So, do you think it's worth it? Because margin overnight, I'm sorry, not overnight, annually ranges between 7 to maybe 15% a year. And for most brokers, the way it's broken down is it takes, if it's 10% and you have margin over the course of 365 days, it breaks it down. Your interest will be 365, like it'll be 10% divided by 365, and that'll be your daily rate of interest. So the longer you hold it, the more you're paying on that. Robinhood does that flat fee. That way, you're like, I'm borrowing 1,000, it's $6 a month. You're
Yeah.
borrowing 1,500, it's $8 a month, or whatever it is, $9, whatever it is. So it equates between 7% and about 12 to 15% at other brokers. So that being said, if you're going to hold a full margin against yourself, is that is that interest rate worth it?
If you like options, then no. Or cryptocurrencies, no. And you want to have a significant position size in either one of those that are not marginable securities, then no, it's not worth it. But here's how I would
So
use margin.
real quick, so would you say if you're mixing your account with both
No,
cryptos,
what I'm saying
options,
is
and stocks, then
if you
no?
have a position size that's, I don't know, higher than your equities position size, then no. If you have a couple options here and there, and you're thinking, yeah, I think IBM's gonna go up tomorrow, and you buy an option for the end of the week or end of the month, like here or there, then I think that's fine. But me, I like utilizing options as I use risk reduced options, and I like doing that. And it kind of sucks having a margin account with that, and so I would say with no. But here's how I would use it. I would use it as my core holdings, get margin, and just fucking milk that shit. And milk it for fucking years. I would milk margin for years if I had just equities. And I wouldn't use it on volatile stocks either. And margin maintenance goes up. You got to talk about that if you would.
Well, I kind of made a point to it earlier. The more volatile your portfolio is, depends on the amount of margin that they're going to give you. If you're holding nothing but biotechs and you lose a lot of money, you have $10,000, they might only let you borrow $2,000.
Right.
And if you dip below what's called your margin requirement or margin maintenance,
Rip.
they will literally fucking seize your account and not let you do a single thing until you either sell something or you deposit money.
If you're under margin call, you can sell, but you can't buy.
You cannot buy.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Until your margin call is cleared.
The day after,
you have to either sell or
the day after. Okay, so if you're under margin call, which is if you go below your margin maintenance, if you're under margin call, you have to meet that margin requirement or that margin maintenance. And then a day after that, you can start trading again. If your value hasn't gone below the new maintenance level.
Yeah.
I got called once, and luckily I only got called like $5, and it kind of sucked that day because I couldn't really like trade anything else, but it could have been much worse.
We did a podcast that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got margin called once, and it was literally because you had to have $2,000, and I dipped to 1989. What? So, whatever. It's whatever. You definitely don't want that to happen for sure. But I think that there are certain strategies that you can do.
There's a difference between getting margin called and falling below your margin requirement. Because I've fallen below my margin requirement, and they just took the buying power away. And I could still like technically I could put in cash and still buy with that. And let's say they didn't give me the buying power back, they would, but they didn't. But if your margin maintenance if you fall below your margin maintenance, then they call you. Let's move on, man.
Yeah, so anyway, that's margin. I think there are strategies. We can talk about that some other time. I'm a covered call bitch. So I think that's one of the best strategies. We'll talk about that another time. But I think margin can be worth it. It can also absolutely devastate you. Most people, to be honest, need to stay away. But if you can use it properly, it will reward you. So, just like with credit cards, with auto loans, just be smart about it. Don't overdo yourself. Don't bite off more than you can chew. And definitely don't go ham the first time you use margins. Try it out. Get the feel for it.
Yeah, I would not. Robinhood suggests that you. Robinhood's very good about telling you what is a volatile stock and what's not, and they describe how the volatility is. I don't know if I'm saying that right. They show what the volatility is: low, medium, high.
Yeah, they have a little. Yeah.
And they have margin maintenance and requirement amounts for each stock. So if you're buying those biotech stocks that are like 15 cents per share, and you buy like 1,500 shares of them, your margin maintenance is gonna fucking skyrocket.
Yeah, because they're not gonna want you to hold that shit.
They don't want you holding volatile shit. Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, but what if you littered your portfolio with nothing but large blue chip stocks and index funds? Like it was 10% in the Dow, and then you had maybe another 10% in gold, and then you got the rest diversified across various things. Coca-Cola, a little couple REITs here and there. You just kind of build that dream portfolio, little utilities, some real estate. Yeah, Do you think that might be a wise use of it, though?
Yeah, of course.
You won't have a very high margin maintenance.
Yeah, I think that's
You
a great
won't.
idea because they take into account like dividends, like how secure the
Oh
stock is,
yeah.
basically.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think that's the
I
best way
think
to use margin.
you have to be proactive if you use margin. You can't just be a set it and forget it person and check your shit 6 months later. That's not no.
Oh
You
God.
got to be on it daily. You've got to be a trader.
Oh man.
Got to have that commitment. So anyway, let's press forward. That's margin. That's just your market terminology. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, insults, corrections, or ideas, you can email us at Rebel Trading Group with 2 G's. That's rebeltradinggroup@gmail.com.
I got an idea.
Go for it.
For this podcast, why don't we start this next session with what are you watching? Unless you had another
Well,
plan. No, fuck it.
no,
Let's do this. Yeah, let's just talk
kind of
about
winging
what are
it.
you watching, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. Honestly, we've talked about it a while ago. I'm looking at Office Depot. And I know I've talked about it before, and I know you're really not about it. But they're completely changing their business model. Did you know that? They're going straight into an IT and business solutions company.
So they're
They're
done with retail.
getting away from it. They're adapting to the new cloud computing world.
They're adapting. You mean they're catching up?
I mean, catching up. I mean, they're morphing.
Well,
So they bought a IT company last year, and
so that's why you like it because they're going into the
well, that's
IT sphere.
I like that.
Office IT sphere.
Well, no, not necessarily that.
Okay.
Um, it pays a sustainable dividend. First of all, it's like a very cheap stock. It's like 280 something, or no, I'm sorry, it's
No,
like
it's like
264.
Office Depot's around like $3, isn't it?
Yeah, 264. It's actually been taking a beating.
Damn, I remember trading Office Depot around $2 or I'm sorry, $4 or $5.
But I think about having a spread on her aggressively, giggity.
What kind of spread?
Kind of like a covered call spread. I would like to sell like an in the money call, and out of the money call, and a deep in the money call. And I would like to kind of sit on it for a while, and hopefully there's some price appreciation. But if not, I'm taking a strong short against it and kind of lower my cost average, because I think that this could be a potential turnaround play. I like it as a turnaround play long term, but in the meantime, I think she's going to continue to pay out this dividend, and she'll reward the shareholders later. So I'm looking at getting either more of her or basically the same exact thing, but with LYG, Lloyd's Banking Group.
We'll get into LYG in just a second.
But literally, that's almost the same reason: dividend, turnaround play, long term hold, spread, short them.
What kind of numbers are, dude? I don't know. I'm looking at FinViz now, and there's lots of red numbers on FinViz.
For which one?
ODP.
Oh yeah, they're going through.
Their
They're going
earnings
through
per
tough
share
times.
this year is down 88%.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
that's why I'm
Not
shorting it.
for that. No, you're short. Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, have fun.
Well, look at the payout ratio. What's the payout ratio?
The payout ratio. Does it show that? Yeah, it shows that. That's the oh man, where is it? That's the dividend to earnings per share, right? Kind of
Yeah.
thing. Well, here we go. 0.10. No, wait. It's I don't know, man. It's not showing it on FibDays.
Okay.
Or I
Well,
just can't find it and I'm just stupid.
well, I'm kind of loading up on the dip. I don't. She still maintains a strong market cap. She still has earnings. I just think it's gonna get beaten up, absolutely. And I think I want to sell the volatility on it. But I think there will be a floor that it'll put in, and then it can have the opportunity to U-turn or simply get bought out.
Who do you think they would get bought by?
I don't know.
Like a paper company or
I
something?
think it would be more taken private, to be honest. or another larger tech
Dog, I
company.
think they would go bankrupt before they do private.
I don't know. I think somebody else would take them private. How much debt do they have?
I got it up. Hold on. Debt to equity ratio is 0.82. That's not terrible.
No. Do we
It's
have a book value?
yeah, 3.8.
There you go. It's
What's
trading well below book.
what does book value do?
Book value, if
You got.
basically
I'm gonna
if
ask
they
you like every
liquidate,
podcast so everybody knows it. We just
if they were
drive
to
it in.
liquidate, if they were to liquidate every single thing that they have, all of their assets, all their properties, all their supply, and sell it, and return all value to all equity and debt holders, the value per share would be $3.87.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's cool. Where's that
So,
money at though?
what do you mean?
I don't know. Where's the extra dollar
I
per
mean
share?
that might be in
Paper.
properties. Well, I mean other people. I mean that. Remember, that's just one of the indicators. Other people are looking at the negative EPS that's coming up, and the payout ratio is only 54%, so they can actually raise the dividend. But some people are probably looking at the debt, the broke below its moving average. Like it's just kind of getting beaten up. Short ratios, what is the short ratio? 4.94. So for every five stocks, one is short. Is that what that means?
I do. It's funny because I'll read about terms and I'll be fixated on them for a certain period of time and then like I'll
And then
forget
you
it.
kind of,
Yeah.
well, I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot to put together, and that's why we do the market terminology. Insider ownership is 3%. That's not a bad symbol. It could be higher, but
I've got
I've seen
insider
there's.
ownership at 0.5.
Are you looking at ODP?
Yeah, insider
Oh, yes.
transactions.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah.
Insider.
You're good. You're good. You're
Okay,
good.
right. Institutional ownership 94. So Wall Street owns it. I don't know, man. I don't know. Shares outstanding. They're buying back. I don't know if they're buying back. I don't know. I don't hate it, but it's something small. It's something small. I don't I don't know. I like the dividend. Maybe I'm just
I
getting
can't. I
greedy.
can't. I can't tell people. I can tell people, but I don't want to tell people. ODP is the way to go. If you want to do it, like all means. But
Yeah.
I just like I
Uh,
don't. I don't think I would.
yeah. I know it's a risky play going in. I know what I'm doing. I'm not. I know the storm. I'm sailing my. I know the storm that I'm rowing my boat into. Okay. I think that there's a good covered call opportunity on it.
I mean, everybody knows what Office Depot is. You know what they do. It's just I don't
Yeah.
know. I feel like there's better businesses you can invest in.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I just don't. I don't. I feel like there's more or less risky place for me.
Absolutely.
You want to talk about LYG? Lloyd?
Lloyd's Banking Group. So
I've
I actually called Invest Talk about this one.
what
Did you
they?
hear it?
No, what they say?
Um,
Hello?
sorry. Sorry. Hold on. I'm getting a call.
We can pause.
No, I don't want to.
No
Um,
pause. LYG.
no. So it was Mr. Peasley. Shout out. He said it's exactly right. It's being hit by Brexit, and that's the biggest thing. So they don't know what the fate of the banks is. He said if you know the history of the Lloyds family, then you would understand why the insider ownership is so high, because banks operate differently in England than they do here,
That's so
and
interesting.
they're mostly supported by rich people who read the notes and support the banks, something like that.
That's so cool.
So that's why the insider ownership is so high. He's like, but yes, there is a strong 5% dividend. It is payable, but it's just getting hit by dividend or hit by
Brexit.
dividend. It's been hit by Brexit. And I read an article earlier. It says that I never really thought about this. I mean, I'm really just going after the dividend and the potential turnaround play after post Brexit. But they have to change a lot of their loans and international mortgages and all that shit. They have to change the currencies on that shit.
Yeah.
And they don't know if the people who hold the loan are going to have to do it or if the banks that hold the loan are going to have to pay for it. But dude, it's a $54 billion market cap. It's fucking huge. It's not,
Massive.
this isn't, it's massive. It's not some First Coast Sunshine Credit Union. No. They're huge.
So I found this company for you.
You did.
And
I'm about it, to be TBH.
if anybody's wondering how I did it, I'll walk you through how I did it right now. You want me to do it real quick?
I'm sure I have an idea of how you did it, but let's go for it.
Yeah, okay. So, if you're following me on Twitch right now, I know there's kind of a delay. I'm on FinViz, and FinViz stands for Financial Visualization. You know, I'm thinking about paying for a membership for FinViz.
We can talk offline.
And
No,
so,
to be honest, I like FinViz. I hate the ads that they put in front of me though.
pay for premium. Okay, so I went to FinViz and I clicked on the screener tab, and then I did the first tab under the screener, stock screener, is descriptive, and there's 4 tabs: descriptive, fundamental, technical, and the last tab is all that has all of them. Fuck that shit. Fuck all. So I first went to descriptive, and it's got certain things like exchange, market cap, target price, fuck target price, sector, industry, the actual price of the stock if you want it under $25, is it optionable, what is its volume, different stuff like that. So here's what I did. I did market cap. I think I did large because let's be honest, mega caps. I feel like mega caps are gonna be kind of more expensive. And I also
They ain't
did.
gonna be cheap.
They ain't gonna be cheap. I also did price. I did under. I did ballsy. This is where I kind of like I was fishing for gold. I did under $5 for price. So I did market cap from large market cap, and then price under $5. Right now that brings me up to 7 stocks, and LYG is one of those stocks. So dividend, I did high, and high is over 5%. So here's the things I did on my screener, and I did them all within the first 3 tabs, or first tab. I did market cap, I did large. I did dividend yield high, and I did price under $5 because I wanted it to be affordable for me. And so what is the only stock that's left? LYG. And that's how I came up with that. Its PE ratio is 10.7, which is sexy. Its price is $2.09. That's nice. And its dividend is what? Over 5%.
Yeah, it's huge.
It pays it too. I checked it.
Yeah.
I checked the Nasdaq
Never.
site.
And it's bi-yearly, which is weird. It pays twice a year. I think it's April and October or something like that. April, if I'm not mistaken. I'll get you that answer.
Yeah, its debt is kind of high, but banks generally run on high debt. Yeah,
That's how they operate. Borrow money to loan it out at higher rates.
Exactly, and come back with interest. So the only thing that's really kind of red is its performances on FinViz, and its earning per share is it's still sustainable to pay out the. It does have the payout ratio. I'm sorry, dude. It
does.
It is still a sustainable dividend. And I told Jason before he called in to KPP, their podcast Invest Talk, shout out, check them out, by the way, they're really good. I told Jason, I said, what he's gonna say is it's gonna be a Brexit talk. So we gotta wait till Brexit's over, and I didn't really think about that, like, the currency exchange and loans and stuff, and how it's gonna get paid back and shit. That's interesting.
Yeah. So it is interesting, but
what are you doing with LYG?
I'm thinking about loading up more and just ride out the hard times.
Keep loading.
And keep taking the dividend. It's $54 billion, so it's got a long ways to fall, dude.
Huge market cap.
Humongous market cap, and I don't know. I just
the The diamond in the rough,
I
baby.
like. I find there you go. That's exactly how I'm looking at it. I don't see any growth opportunity in it. I don't see this rocketing to 15. I don't. If you look in the past 5 years, the highest it's been is like $5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm expecting cash flows, baby.
It's got high volatility on
I
its
have
margin.
100. I'm thinking of taking it to 3.
300 shares.
Mm-hmm. I have 100 now. I'm thinking about vamping it up.
I can't buy any.
Margin call.
Hmm?
Margin call.
Well, it's not margin call. I'm not margin call. It's got high volatility and it'll fuck my margin maintenance. The thing is about my margin maintenance is because I'm shorting a lot of shitty stocks with options. So I bought the stocks that I'm selling the calls on, which is a bearish position. I bought those 100 shares of them, and a lot of them are high volatility stocks.
You ever sell them in the money to take a bearish position?
I don't trust it enough.
Well, why not? You can still lock in.
Okay,
so let's say,
there's no price
can we walk through one of
appreciation.
your trades?
Yeah, okay, we can do Blue Apron.
Okay, so let's pull up your Blue Apron if we can.
Yeah, we can do that. It's kind of screwing me, but I'm gonna keep shorting it.
Well, I don't hate that idea.
No, yeah, it's how you do it. That's the theory. You don't stop shorting it if you're losing money in the selling the call. You got to keep going. It's part of the process, and I knew that going in. So I bought.
You need the calls to outperform the loss.
Yes, it's gonna take some time, but I'm ready for
it. Dude, and Rite Aid fucked me on that.
You gotta keep going, man.
Yeah, you just gotta stick with it. You gotta be disciplined in that game.
The thing about it is, who the fuck is buying a Rite Aid call right now? Who is saying, Rite Aid to the moon?
Yeah. That's what I was trying to sell.
Blue Apron is kind of like that too. Plug Power is you'll sell any premium you want.
Dude, yeah, they're doing well for me on their cover calls.
Yeah.
I'm down to like $1.82 cost average. Pulled it down.
Okay, so let's Blue Apron. I bought 100 shares of Blue Apron at I think $1.83, and now it's $1.19.
How come I can't see that on Twitch?
Because I'm on my phone.
Oh.
I guess I can bring it up.
Yeah, that would be swell.
So I bought 100 shares at $1.83, and I've lost $63 on it because it's at $1.19 now, so that's 63 cents or 64 cents, and I got a dirty price on it. What were we talking about? Selling the call.
Yeah,
the volatility.
You're pulling up Blue Apron.
Yeah, the volatility of it. Yeah.
So we were talking about selling in the money. So if you were to sell, so let's just say right here, pretend you don't have an option right now.
Okay, I'm on it.
You want to take a bearish position on this, and you want to capitalize as much as possible, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what if you took your $1.83 cost average, and let's go look at some options. Let's go to the store here. Let's go to the options market.
Okay.
Let's sell. Give me 2 or 3 months out. Do you like end of November? Give me December. That December 21st looks juicy.
That's 2 months.
Yes. So pull that up and let's sell a $1.50 call on it.
It's 15. It's 10 or 15 cents because it's such a low price that they're not selling in between 5-cent increments. So it's if you're gonna buy it now or sell it now, it's gonna be $10.
Oh wait, yeah, I didn't realize how low the share price was.
Mm-hmm.
So you would have to sell, even if you sold $1, that'd be like selling $1.35. That's still a loss for you. So basically, yeah. So you still have to sell the 2s.
No, I'll sell whatever the closest.
The next one up is.
Yeah, next one up is, and it's usually I'll generally try to do like $10 per premium, just to kind of. I can't do $5, man. That's kind of.
Well, the thing I don't like about those $5 ones, you can't buy it back.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
There's the bids between 5 and 10. So if you sell it for 5, you can't buy the bitch back.
I have a different mentality on that. I know you like to, trade it back if it makes a profit.
I like to sell the decay 50%.
I'll just fucking let it expire.
Well, that too. You can lock in most of your money, and plus, what I also did, I actually did it yesterday on the LYG. I sold a call. I sold a 3 call for April for $20. So $20 return on my $294. There you go. Well, you just do the math yourself on that. It's like a 15% return,
I don't know.
something like that.
I'm not
Anyway,
doing math for you.
point being, sold that call, and I'm sorry, I just totally lost my train of thought here. I had a thing pop up. I sold that call on LYG, and I went further out, and went ahead and I took the money, I rolled it right into Office Depot. Like, that's what I like to be able to do with that premium you collect in cash. Just put it in some more stocks, and then you use that to get the dividends to buy more, and you just keep using cash to just keep fucking buying and buying and compounding.
Jason, we need to get out of this experimental options phase and get into option strategies. Like
Well, I mean,
a concrete option strategy for us.
I think I have mine.
Selling your ODP calls?
Selling ODP calls, baby.
Fuck you.
Well, I mean, if eventually the plan is once that money frees up, you roll it up. So then take that 300 some odd dollars and you throw it into something that's higher up.
All right, well, let's go into what I'm watching this week.
What are you watching?
I think I've said it before, but it's just something I want to talk about more. I'll talk about too, like we talked about too with you. I'll kind of make it shorter, but I might have said this last time, but Store Capital, man.
Yeah, but you're watching it again. Now let's go into depth. What's going on? Is she gapping it? Can you pull her up for us? Is she getting into a nice area? You there?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, sorry, I muted
Yeah,
myself.
there you go.
It's not
Very
that
good.
Store Capital's in like a good position to buy right now. I just think that Store Capital provides such a monstrous dividend that I just want every single share of Store Capital.
So why aren't you? How many do you have? Are you accumulating in this time?
I have 13 shares,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going up.
There you
And
go.
I want to become a Warren Buffett and sell covered calls on it.
On it now, selling cover calls on REITs. I'm about that
Why? Because they're paying dividends?
because I'm about it's double cash flow, dude.
Yeah.
Like to me, that's so much sexier than buying a Google call and waiting for it to go up. I'm sorry. Like, to me, I'd rather be the casino and have the Walmart strategy. Sell tons of different things, get tons of little cash flow in constantly and easily rather than go for $150 here, 300 here, 12% gain here. Done with that shit. Take the thinking out of it. Keep it simple, stupid, and do something that floats your boat. And to me, cash flows float my boat.
Yeah, so I'm gonna slowly kind of keep adding cash, keep getting more margin on that cash, and just buying this stock. I'm just gonna, dude, what's the dividend ratio on it? 4.6. It's kind of like AT&T right now. AT&T, it pays just a monstrous dividend as AT&T. But I feel like Store Capital has a lot more room to grow. Have you seen its EPS?
That I have not.
It blows expectations out of the market, or out of the water.
Now, this is housing, and going into a recession, do you think that this is a good stock to own? Think it's going to be able to be?
I feel like Store Capital has a bit of cushion room, and I feel like ignorance is calling me saying that, but I just feel like that them beating EPS like that, I feel like there's more cushion room, but I don't know. I would have to do more research into that, which I'm doing now.
You got to find out what their payout ratio is because that's going to determine the dividend sustainability.
Here it is, 130%.
You said it so confidently. Here it is. Oh, this is great. 130%.
So that's good, right?
Well, that means it's spending more money than it's taking in. It's a housewife stock.
You're a housewife stock. 82 employees. I love looking at how many employees they have. I love how they put that metric up there. Like, it's going to determine if I'm going to buy or sell a stock.
I saw one that was like 6.
I saw 7 the other day. I thought it was hilarious.
Biofarm.
Here's the thing that's kind of keeping me in there, and maybe I'm just a sucker for this. And I've heard KPP say this before. There's nothing wrong with copying an investor's strategy.
Fuck no. Especially if it works.
However, ignorant as it may be, and I've told people bad things for copying people's strategies, but
Mm-hmm.
fuck me, right? It's Warren fucking Buffett.
Yeah. I mean, if it works, it works. See, the thing that people don't like about Warren Buffett and why I think his strategy works and why people can copy it and it still works is because his formula is patience. Like, you've got to be able to sit on Coca-Cola shares forever because that's what Warren Buffett does. Nathan, if you are a true Buffetteer, you are never, ever selling STOR capital. Never, ever.
No, I
You'll
don't
never
want to.
do it.
I don't want to.
And that's okay. Because that's going to build wealth. And when you get to Warren Buffett status, it will be as if you have never paid for those shares.
I've heard Warren Buffett say, the best strategy for investing in stocks is to never sell. Like, why would he sell?
Yeah. He invests in the business. He doesn't necessarily just look at the stock and the performance. He invests in the company. He looks at the valuations, how they run, their cash flows. He's big on management. That's why he likes Coca-Cola, McDonald's. He likes the management of the companies.
Here's something I don't like since we hit it earlier. Store Capital's book per share, book value. I don't know if that's different. I'm sorry. We need to look that up on FinViz. Is $17, and it's a $28 stock. Maybe I don't like that, but I like.
It's what is?
Its
book is what?
Is 17.3, 1730.
Well, it's okay. Most things trade above book.
Yeah.
When it trades up to a premium to book, that's usually a bullish sign.
Really? Okay.
Like, look at where Google is in its book value.
I'm gonna look it up now.
From a value standpoint, not necessarily.
What's your standpoint on Store Capital? Like, I want to hear the gluten-free Jason Bessing standpoint.
Personally, I'm not a fan of single home housing. I mean, just call me stupid. But I mean, it's just it doesn't get me excited, and maybe that's why I should like it, to be honest.
But that dividend, though, I don't know. Fuck me, man. Fuck me
But
for
that's
saying
the
it.
thing.
But I like it.
I like REITs though. I like REITs, and I like the dividend. So as long as the cash flow's there, I prefer a good REIT over a decent tech. You know.
What's its cash flow right now? Where would I find that?
It's just, in my eyes, it's just boring. I can't get excited about it. I don't know why.
I feel like most Warren Buffett stocks are boring.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. What else am I watching? Oh, you know what? We mentioned it earlier. NUGT. NUGT.
You're watching gold.
Yeah, baby. I'm watching gold.
Why? What's up with that?
I liked where it was before, and I bought a call, or I bought a strangle when it was around 14, and it's going up, so the call legs are doing good for me. But if you look at the chart and you're charting, it looks like a good place to buy, and I never think gold's a bad buy. There's always the whole theory that there's a limited supply of it, and it's such a precious metal that the price is just automatically going to go up. Correct or no?
That is correct. That's correct. I think it's in this environment. I think gold is a good place to be. I think it will be volatile, and it will be volatile to the upside.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's volatile to the downside, it usually means that the market's restoring. So. I don't hate it. I do like gold.
You know what we
I
should
think it should be a good part of the portfolio.
you know what we should talk about sometime?
What's that?
Bond yields.
I
Short
think
and long.
we've talked bonds before,
We've talked
but yeah,
bonds before, but we haven't talked bond yields and how they react to the market. Or
I'd like to do that.
how the market we should do that sometime. Sorry, I digress, but
Oh,
I
it's okay.
like NUGT basically because I'm holding it and I like it where it is on the price chart. Um, I'm a great fan. I like risk reduced option strategies. Like debit spreads, which aren't totally risk free. No, I don't think any options are risk free.
Oh,
Not,
absolutely not, because of that time decay. That's the biggest bitch of them, is
yeah,
the time decay.
yeah, yeah,
And that's what makes them, that's like the worst part about them. Whether you're the seller or the buyer, it's just, ugh.
yeah. But so I'm just buy gold now.
I like gold.
That's where I'm sitting at right now.
Commodities might be a good place to be. I think oil's going to continue to be a little volatile.
Yeah. So that's really just it. I just kind of just wanted to talk. It's good to be back. It's kind of just a
Yeah,
feel
get you back into the flow of
feel
things,
feel yeah, get a feel of things again. We don't really need to do a what are you watching because we just did that. We was basically a whole
Yeah.
conversation, but you know that was good, man. It felt good. Feels good to
Yeah,
be
man.
back. I'm glad to be. Here's the thing. I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad to be back.
I'm glad that everything is okay. All your animals, your zoo is safe.
Yeah. We thought about getting a horse today, a little mini horse.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Add that to the list.
Add it to the zoo. We just need to get some parrots and yeah, you come join us. We'll have a full zoo.
Yeah, bring my bird. We'll get some monkeys and call it a party.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's a cast for us, man.
That's a solid welcome back cast.
Oh, that feels good, dude. It feels good. We did some
Alright, man.
digressions, dude. But
Yeah, it's
we're
good though. We dropped some knowledge.
Yeah.
We debated. We talked politics. We caught each other up. It's good. Everything's happy.
Fuck your boy named digression.
Some boy named digression. That's what a good podcast is. It's just normal, natural talk, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Natural market talk. We're all here to make money, Nathan.
Well,
goddamn
if
right.
you have
Don't just
any
share.
questions, concerns, comments, insult, memes, I love good memes. Corrections for sure. I emphasize that the most with this podcast because we
Yeah.
aren't experts, but we love to learn.
Yeah,
And
and
so
I
if-
know every now and then I might be putting out the wrong info,
And
but
if you're gonna correct us, you better back it up because we will rebuttal the shit at you with our street smarts that we have.
I read it on Investopedia.
Kramer said that Tesla's going up.
Yeah,
So just
But
be
for
ready
real,
to
man.
back it up. If it makes sense, even if it doesn't make sense, we'll mention it. We will mention your comments on the show
Yeah.
if you email us. So email
Yeah.
us at rebeltradinggroup@gmail.com. That's Rebel Trading Group with 2 G's at gmail.com. Hit us up on Facebook, facebook.com/Rebel Trading Group. Look us up on YouTube. We post all of our videos there. Our video archive is on YouTube. Look us up at Rebel, or it's not YouTube at Rebel. It's look us up on YouTube, Rebel Trading Group. Soundcloud, Rebel Trading Group. Stock Twits, Rebel Trading Group. And twitch.com/Rebel Trading Group. So
You
hit
know,
us
we
up.
actually have a chat room now.
Yeah, dude, I saw it open today,
in Stock
dude.
on Stock Twits.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we actually, if you search for Rebel Trading Group, we have it's under the 3 categories of day trading, swing trading, and education. And that's what we're going to talk. And it made me pick a room rule. So I put that we're not going to really talk too much about over-the-counter and pink sheet stuff.
That's
Kind of
fair.
sketchier.
That's good.
Because I don't really want to talk that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know too much about
I'm
it.
not gonna. I don't know too much about it, and it's all gonna be pumping dumb shit, and I
Yeah,
don't want that
yeah,
in
we
the
don't
chat
want
room.
that.
I want
That's
people
very
who
good.
are like, okay, what are we watching? Why are we looking at gold? Because I'm looking at Tesla.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing. And I just want.
Yeah,
so
that'll
if,
piss me off if I see that in our room. Pumping dumb shit. Like, or like one I'm looking at right now, INPX. Ooh, INPX to the moon. Get the fuck out of my
Yeah.
fucking chat room.
if I have anything close to the Robinhood Bitcoin chat, I'm just gonna I'm gonna throw the fuck up.
Yeah. So yeah, hit us up on all our platforms. We love you, and thanks for joining us. We're gonna have a special episode 50 podcast. Jason Bessing, gluten-free Jason Bessing. I am going to promise you that our 50th episode will be the best one ever.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great. You want to tell him?
It's gonna be great. Well, we're gonna do it live.
We're gonna do.
And we're gonna do it together.
Well, we always do it live, but
Well, we always do it live.
Sometimes we do it live on the Twitch, but it'll be here. What date you want to do it? You want to do the 4th? Let's do it the 4th or the 5th.
Probably the 5th. Middle of the day
Yeah.
during the market. We can have a couple drinks.
Yeah. So it'll be the 5th during the day. Stay tuned to Stock Twits and Facebook. Oh shit! I need to update Facebook soon, don't I?
Dude, you haven't done it in a while. That intern.
Fire the intern, hire a new one. Yeah, I'll get back on that. It won't be that hard because I'm pretty up to date. I think I'm only like 5 or 6 behind, but yeah. So thanks for joining us, guys. You have anything else to say
man.
to us?
Not really, man.
Wanna-
maybe
sign
do
us
this
out?
again soon. Yeah, man. If you have any questions, I mean, we already did it. Man.
Comments, concern, Rebel Trader Group.
Yeah, we already did that. Questions, comments, concerns, whatever. Your questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, insults, ideas,
Memes.
corrections, memes, nudes. rebeltradinggroup@gmail.com.
That's Rebel.
Send it.
That's
I'm a
Rebel
fan
Trading
of-
Group @gmail.com with 2 G's.
All right, man. Welcome back, Nathan. I love you.
Thanks for joining us, guys. Have a good one.
And may the volatility gods be ever in your favor.